Welcome back. Great to have your company for this crucial second round heat between Keely Andrew and Nikki Van Dijk, two of the highest scoring surfers not to progress directly through to the third round after a solid first round effort. Keely with a finals appearance at the first stop this year up against Nikki Van Dijk, who's looking for that big breakthrough result to see her up the leaderboard and into the top 10. A pretty good bounce back from some of the top seeds, you'd have to say. Just Sally Fitzgibbons, the surprise exit. But when you look at who she was up against, it was a tough draw. Coco Ho getting the jump on Sally. But here we go. Getting things started here in the last heat of the second round is Keely Andrew, and she's going to take a fall on that first section.
Yeah, that's so easy to do, just having those fins disengage from underneath you. That section cups out and leaves that little bit of an air pocket, so your board just loses traction with the wave.
That's going to hand priority over to Nikki Van Dijk, who's sizing something up out the back at the moment. Just a medium-sized set. But Nikki likes what she sees down the line, instantly puts her foot on the pedal and starts motoring to get out in front of this one. Climbing that section, grabbing the rail for a moment, just adding a bit of style to that one. But it does stretch out, it gets away from her. So 25 minutes to go. Priority's going to go back to Keely Andrew, and it won't be solid numbers for both surfers on the opening exchange.
Yeah, Nikki taking a chance on this inside wave. I like the fact that both of these ladies are getting this heat started pretty early. So again, Nikki finding some momentum down the line, kicks out of that one. We've seen the conditions change so much throughout the day. I think it's pretty smart just to get that first wave, get that going, get your momentum.
Wow, yeah, I knew I probably had one of the toughest matchups of the whole round. Courtney just came off of an injury and she's been surfing so well. So I was pretty bummed with my performance in the first round. So I definitely needed to walk down the beach and take a breather and just kind of press reset.
And what does that entail? I mean, it's easy to say, but I mean, what are you telling yourself? What does a reset look like?
I just think when she gets to that point where she's feeling relaxed and she's in that happy place, generally the big performances and monster heat score totals start to drop. So keep an eye on Carissa as we get through this draw. 20 minutes remaining in the heat and the water, and no big numbers locked in for these competitors yet, Rosie. Stick around. We've got 19 minutes remaining here. Nikki Van Dijk and Keely Andrew gave us some real highlight moments from round one, despite the fact they didn't get the victory. And we've got the WSL post show coming up a little later on. But here's Nikki racing, driving down the line. A lot of speed. She'll get out in front of this one, bit of foam on the face, swings that tail around, can't quite stick it.
Yeah, you mentioned that speed she was carrying. Just the extension in her body, just floating through all those sections.
Meanwhile, out the back, Keely gets priority. Easy decision here, good looking wall. Driving down the line, does well to get on top of that section, nice float. Been comboing up some pretty clean turns already.
Wow.
Nothing super explosive, but just really clean and flowing beautifully.
Yeah, solid surfing. And then also the speed that she's carrying. You can tell that she has a lot of confidence in her equipment at the moment. There's a lightness to her surfing that's kind of showing through.
Keely's got that speed too, doesn't she?
Yeah, you can see Keely just coasting into this wave, finding that floating maneuver. See the projection that she gets out of that, and then also that quick snap to get herself up and over it on that one. So 3 turns from Keely, definitely going to be the best wave of the heat, but good to see her just feeling strong and solid.
There's definitely a couple of favourites.
Yeah, for sure. You'd be picking a couple of standouts: Tatiana, Caroline Marks, Bronte McCauley, all doing well.
Bianca Batendale also successful, so it was a good first round for the Goofy Footers. We'll be talking about that in the WSL post show. Right now, though, Nikki Van Dijk trying to get herself a score to jump into the lead here. Only needs a 3.47, but has raced most of this wave without a big turn. Looking for something on the end section, just wants to finish this one off. 14 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, you see that flow that Keely's showing at the moment, as well as Nikki. I mean, this to me just looks like another day at Winky Pop. So Nikki would be feeling comfortable in this lineup. Tell though, there's a lot of that bump to work with. What you want is that cupped out face, and that never really presents itself on this wave. She does well to maneuver through these sections, though. So Nikki, knowing that end section connection will gain you a lot of points.
Keely's going to have a shot at it here. Just kicks the tail over the foam in transition. Nice pocket turn there. Again, flowing beautifully. One turn into the next. Everything a little bit different. Nothing mind-blowing, but it should be.
And then Keely just has a lot of speed carried through. Maybe cutting her turns just a little bit short, but that last move right there, that's going to factor into her scoreline.
Dropping in there with Nikki Van Dijk. She's up against Keely Andrew at the moment and playing catch-up. Keely's been getting herself on the better waves, linking her turns together. She's up again at the moment and moving down the line with plenty of speed, trying to improve on a 4.67 to extend. Keeps comboing up the solid turns, but doesn't quite finish that one off. Last ride came through. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, Keely had a great ride. Let's see. Keely stroking in. She's got those 2.4s in her scoreline, but looking even a 5.5. So Keely floats that one up the lip. Deep bottom turn, trying to get that board, and then goes vertical on that last section.
Outside, meanwhile, Nicola gets herself into a wave. Drives up into that first section. Another big, tall wall standing up in front. Takes a high line approach. Gets on top of the wave for a moment, but it didn't really work out as the big dynamic hit that she was after. So just under 10 minutes to go. Nikki was after a 4.67, but we might see that requirement grow.
Nikki Van Dijk, this is an interesting ride from her. Deep bottom turn. You can tell that she's kind of in two minds about what she wants to do with this section. Just would have loved to have seen her find that same fierce attack of the lip that we saw in round one.
So 8 minutes to go, and Nikki Van Dijk's going to be chasing a 5.51. And here she is. Keely's had her covered when it comes to flow and variety of manoeuvres so far in this heat. But Nikki's started this ride off really well. Whipping through that top turn, moving a fair bit of water. And just for the second time, it just looked like a little indecision on how she wanted to finish that wave off. The result didn't have that dramatic fall from the top of the wave and just sort of came out of that manoeuvre with not really that sort of critical element.
Well, the story also is being told in her body language after that wave. Even when she finishes this one off, you can tell that she's just a little bit frustrated at the moment. But she does have, you know, a few great maneuvers on this wave. There it is, and then you can tell just that little bit of body language from her. And then even when she kicks off, you see her kick her foot as she grabs her board. She's kind of just trying to get her head back in this one. It's
I think when the surfers are busy, the time on the clock seems to go by pretty quickly. Both the competitors have had 6 waves, some shorter than others, but doing a lot of work here, understanding that some of these waves can just turn into something special down the line. This is going to be Keely's shot at it. 40 seconds to go. Looking for a 5.51. Caught behind for a moment. You can see the frustration. And that wave just did not cooperate.
so tangible. I mean, it's just so unfortunate that wave didn't give her anything of substance. Can she pick up an inside wave? There are those wide swingers that double up, maybe a bit of cleaner face on the 2 and 3 of the set. Is she in the position to capitalize, though?
Well, this one is coming to a close, and Nikki Van Dijk, she turned it around. She was under pressure there for a moment. And she has some areas she can improve her performance to give herself a better chance to get deeper into the draw here at the Corona Open J-Bay. But she survives a close one up against Keely Andrew. And there's a strong finish on her last ride.
That was some great surfing.